You boys look like a weird heavy metal band.
Yes, we are a band.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you play?
Symphonic, post-apocalyptic, reindeer-grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war, pagan, Fennoscandic metal.
Right. Really interesting.
What up, everyone? DJ Anubis.
And DJ Neko.
Here with you on the Metal Time Radio podcast, doing a concert review, celebrating Neko's birthday.
Today's my birthday.
Today is birthday for her. Last night, though, we celebrated by going to see Suffocation with special guest Incantation, Skeletal Remains, and Stabbing. And it was a great time, man. Like, by the time I got done with the night, I was really putting this concert up there with some of the best that we've seen, like Ghost back in 2015.
Amon
Amarth.
You got to see the Slayer farewell tour.
That.
This was like in a smaller club, and I think that they knew it was not a sellout, so they had like part of the back of Soundstage kind of curtained off.
Yeah, at first I thought, because they cut off half of it. And I thought, man, there's not a lot of people here. We were kind of like, we were one of the first ones there, but not just because we were just showing up. But, I went to see Enslaved. Like, there was far more busy when we got there in the lines. But this time, there wasn't that many people. And when we got in, I was like, man, I hope there's more than this.
It started to pile in towards
they cut off half of it, but it was packed by the end of the night.
And they're also doing renovations. I don't know if you saw a bunch of those signs around, like Pardon Our Dust, they're renovating, so it could be due to the renovations in the back too, that they just didn't. They're like, okay, it's not a sellout, so we'll just, for safety, we're renovating back here, we'll keep people to the front. But regardless, it's always a great venue. And I was kind of joking with DJ Anubis because Soundstage opened in 2011, and before it was Soundstage, it was a nightclub that me and my girlfriends used to go to, called Iguana Cantina, and every Thursday night was ladies' night, and it literally was free entrance, free drinks for the ladies all night long, except for like when you started doing like import beers or stuff, so like draft beer and rail drinks and stuff. And we went all through our 20s. I don't know how many times down there he'd be dropping us off, or we had other friends, husbands or whatever, drop us off. Very different vibe because it was a dance club and the way it was set up. So like they had like shirtless bartenders and stuff. Here they turned it into this amazing concert venue. They built a stage. There's like a little VIP section. Looks completely different than, they used to have like all these crazy lights and stuff, but now it's turned out to be one of our favorite places to see bands because the sound, we've never had an issue with them having a bad sound person. They're always on top of it with the lighting and the sound, and they even incorporated now that computer screen in the back. We've always had great luck there. Right up the street is Ram's Head Live, and it's a bigger venue and more complex. Like this Baltimore Soundstage is just a big open place. But the Ram's Head Live is more like it's got seating, it's got levels, it's got like areas where you can sit, and if you want to just chill and watch the concert, they have like it playing on screens. I think we've had issues with sound there multiple times. Like when you went to see Goblin, they couldn't even get the Suspiria stuff to play, could they?
No, and that's
like Ram's Head, not a Soundstage.
Right. Ram's Head just at times, certain things are unable to.
Megadeth wouldn't even play one night. They canceled and said, we're not playing.
But that was due to sound. Like they screwed up the sound. So, but the funny thing is, like sometimes bands sound fine there and then others it's not. But like Goblin, they just ended up playing their various soundtracks, which is still nice. Like they're a great band and been around for a long time. But the whole point of the selling point for me to be there that night was they were doing the entire Suspiria soundtrack, and I was like,
with Suspiria playing.
Yeah, so I was like just so bummed that that didn't happen. And but they made the best of the situation and just
and that's it. That's what we're reiterating. That's at Ram's Head, where we went last night. Top notch. Every single time.
Soundstage always sounds great, no matter the bands. Like you could be a small band or a big band. But
we've done Battle of the Bands there with some local bands, and everybody said, and that's what I was thinking last night too. The first band, Stabbing, they're a smaller, newer band, but they had their amps picking everything up, and they sounded like a professional, gigantic, just as great as Suffocation sounded. Like every band was set up and sounded perfect, and that's what you want, especially at a metal concert. Obviously the sound is important no matter who is playing, but at a metal concert, that's the whole thing, is you want to be able to pick up like the blast beats. And we were having such a good time, because like if I'm playing drums and he's playing drums, and then we're doing this and headbanging,
we're actually playing.
It was so much fun. It was he set this up for my birthday. I wasn't even home last year for my birthday, so we tried to make the most of it. I've been traveling again, but not quite for as long distance of time or long spans of time. But this was just, so let's get started. Sorry.
That's okay.
We're just talking about how much we love this Baltimore Soundstage.
So Stabbing, she mentioned, their new upstart band, basically their full-length release. They've been around since like 2019-21, but their full-length came out in 2022, which is really, really good. They're from Texas. The singer is Bridget Lynch, who we met. She was actually selling merch for the band when we got there.
And I got my very first pink metal shirts. Look at that.
That is so awesome.
And then look at the back, front and back.
That's like cool artwork too.
So I was like, because it's just a size large, and usually pink shirts mean girly shirts, and I don't really look good in girly shirts. They're just not. But this is just a nice metal shirt in pink.
But yeah, when I first heard about the band, like through social media and stuff, people were talking about how great they were live and how good they were.
And they weren't lying.
Not initially. I did, when I was doing some research, they did have another female in the band, but I guess she left or
maybe she just couldn't tour, because sometimes that happens, where you have like some of the studio musicians are writing and working in the studio, but Texas to Baltimore, it's a commitment to be on a tour.
Well, I think also, at least according to archives, I think she's no longer in the band. I don't know what the reason is, but the band is rounded out by Marvin Ruiz on guitars, Matt Day on bass, and Nat Connor on drums.
And she said while she was introducing everyone that the drummer is the one who produces and directs all their music videos.
Yeah.
So that was really cool too. They're all around talented.
Yeah.
And one thing I really liked, she's just so sweet and soft spoken. Like and then she's like, okay, so this is our first track off of our demo, and here we go. And then she's like, and I'm like, this is amazing.
I did, for each band that played last night, I did take like a couple of clips, not the full song, but just a couple of clips for little tasty morsels for you all to see how it is. One thing I love about Soundstage, and of course the modern phone, is that it actually is far better when you actually record your phone. Like you don't think it would come out very well, but for some reason it does. And Soundstage is very good when you want to record video. I'm by far not a professional with it, but considering we're just
doing it for fun.
Yeah,
it's just for us to have a memory.
So here's just a couple clips of them Stabbing playing. They opened up. They were incredibly good. When you're thinking of an opener, sometimes you'll get to shows and the openers aren't quite as good, and you're like, yeah, let's go get a beer or something.
Mm-hmm.
you didn't want to sit down or anything for this band. You just wanted to watch them because they were really good. So here's first clip for them stabbing.
Shut up! First day of this tour. Let's fucking go, y'all.
She had so many tattoos I was gonna go. I'm kind of sort of getting tattoos, but like.
She told me this is their first night on the tour.
Oh really?
Downloaded it to
You know I'm fucking tired of this show. I want to see this shit fucking up.
Yeah. It's still kind of early if you look around. So we've had like great teams, like we picked great spots to stand to like enjoy the band and not die. We're like we'll headbang for a little while, but.
And here is the second clip.
Really great stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, wow, great lineup. We need to introduce Daniel and some of our other metalhead friends to hit the Netherlands and having, because I don't know if they know about that yet. That's a big crowd for an opener. A lot of times people don't even show up.
Well, and that's the thing too, was when MDF, when Nomos played, they opened up the second day, and like, dude, it was packed. So happy in that moment for them, because we're big Nomos fans, we're friends with them. And the fact that they first time playing Maryland Death Fest, and then that being like an early band, like you remember when we saw Volst, it was like 3 PM, and they were opening up the third day, and it was really light. Now, granted, by the time they got to like 2 or 3 songs in,
people started like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Notice. Yeah, we were there because I was like, I got to see this band because I really like the Volst.
And they're from Spain, right?
Yep, and but when you have a band like Nomos who is just kind of building their name, like,
and they've got a strong, loyal following too. Yep. And they tour well as well.
So then it brings us to the second band, which is Skeletal Remains.
One of his most favorite bands. Oh, you can see my hand.
Yeah,
ever.
Okay. I saw it the entire time you were doing your little motions.
Oh, really?
It's all right.
We got to work out our camera placement. Yeah. We're working on a different setup, and so hopefully you guys like our camera setup, and we've got the mic different every time. It's like
we thought we had it figured out with a program, and then the program started failing, and it's like, man, really? Come on, because that was like the great setup, but it is what it is. So we make do to try to get the best look, because I didn't want her way back here, trying to be mini me behind me.
Yeah, and
so-
it looked weird when we were all both on one screen.
Yeah.
So if I'm like squeezed up next to him, it does look weird because we're both trying to be in the same camera and it
Right.
doesn't work. But as we evolve this, I'm hoping, you know, we can figure some stuff out. We can change the way some things are like set up, and
Yeah.
we might be able to go back to having I can go back to my tapestry wall, because we're thinking about getting a new computer, so that might run that program properly.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
That's
kind
the whole idea. Is we're
just
just
trying to figure it
we're
out.
just clawing and scratching down here in the tavern because we just want to bring you the best quality and the best.
Because he's the best.
He is the best.
Anyway, Skeletal Remains, I'd seen them a couple times prior. Big fan. They're one of my favorite newer death metal bands that I've discovered. Now, they've been around since 2012 when their first debut. They're from California. I discovered them around 2016 or 17, I think, with Devour Mortality, which is like their third or fourth
I'm
release
looking
by
at
them.
your poster right now. That's his new poster behind it. Looks
So
good.
yeah, I ended up getting this last night, which is signed. You can't really see it, but they did sign it for me. I didn't get to meet them because we were busy watching Suffocation, but their guy selling the merch was very good about getting it signed for me, which was much appreciated. But I did get some other little fun things.
Tidbits.
So I got a sticker pack, and this is one of them. So I'll be finding some great places for these to go. This is actually very similar to the pin I got, which I think I have this pin. I should have got the green one, but I wasn't sure. But this is the sticker of my pin, which will be going up on my pin wall here soon, which you'll see here. I mean, I would put these on my vest, but dude, I always get kind of paranoid that
So
shit
you're gonna
would
lose
fall
one.
off and shit. Because I think I've lost some in the past, and I think I lost my rat one at one point. Another one. This is
That
actually
looks like the backpack
it is
you have on your.
it's exactly the back patch that I have on my black vest.
You know, when we move, we're gonna have to like cut all of this.
Well, I'm putting these in places that I know are going with this. These are some of my favorite stickers.
Mhm. Like up
this
here.
is very old school here. This is like just your typical 90s looking death metal logo.
So our basement is basically paneling, and then you can tell like I'm looking. You guys can't see it, but I'm looking at it. When they put like ductwork down here, and they like kind of made it a den down here, they put paneling around the ductwork, and it kind of made this nice border. So we are able, like, we can remove the piece of paneling and put another piece of paneling up before we leave. Like, we keep talking about moving, but right now it's not going to happen. Not with the way the mortgage.
It's just what it is.
We will, you know, it's our little nest. It's our little home. If we stay here another 5 years, I don't care. Like,
This is
because
the tavern.
we want something very specific. We want to find our forever home. This has become our forever home. So what do you got for Skeletal Remains?
So the band consists of Chris Monroy, guitar, vocals, Mike Delo is guitars, Brian Rush is on bass, and Pierce Williams is the drummer. And again, I got a couple clips, so we'll go through and play. Now, interesting about their setup was they started doing the fog, and like it was hard to kind of see them unless you were right there. So
The
the
fog
video
was crazy. I went into the ladies' room, and I'm like, the fog is in the ladies' room.
So it's kind of hard to see the band playing, but you can hear it just fine. So here we go.
All right. We're good to go. Please told me to watch my head hanging. Where I pull out my bag.
Yeah.
That was the first table.
Yeah.
I think it had a better like view, but the other table was
More comfortable.
way more comfortable.
think this is one we were also doing the basement floor quote.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was like how much was it?
Then I'm like, don't like this.
You know where the bathroom is? Right. Hey!
We have a good time. You know, I like the fact that it has have to like they do have some where they're incredibly fans of friends, but like just went and a lot of people have to hang on it.
So that was clip 1.
My hair's all messed up now. How's bangs?
So now here's clip 2.
All right, now shut up so you guys can listen to the greatness that it is.
Crowd surfing.
Oh, that's great. There's a lot of crowd surfing.
Yep. I mean, let's face it, man. I was way too big when I was younger to be doing that, unless I was like a teenager, which at the time I really wasn't doing many death metal shows.
We didn't do a lot of concerts, yeah. Our buddy Jason, man, he'll just dive off the stage. He's like,
Well, he's tiny too, so he's able to do that. So
he's not tiny.
he's pretty tiny. So then it brings us to our third band of the evening, Incantation.
I haven't listened to a lot of Incantation, but I was very happy with the band. Like,
Well, you and I were kind of talking about how the singer looked a little bit like Max Cavalier. except for
Yeah,
more
he
gray
did.
hair, yeah. But their debut, Effigy of the Forgotten, which, excuse me, I'm thinking Suffo. No, Incantation. They're around since 1992 when they did their full length. The band consists of John McEntee on guitars and vocals. You told me that he had taken over vocals in 2004, but I didn't realize that he was still in the band from the beginning. He was just a guitarist back then. So he kind of pulled like one of those Peter Tadigan moves where he started out doing one thing in the band and turned.
And then I guess the vocalist changed a few times, and then he just took over full time with the vocals. That's
Yeah.
good that they can do that, because
Yeah.
that just shows that he's, committed to the band.
Yep. It's rounded out by Luke Shively on guitars, Chuck Sherwood on bass, and Kyle Severn on drums.
Dude, that guitarist, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the guitarist was quite amazing. Like, and this is the cool thing about Soundstage too, is that even though you may not hear it so much in the video work I got, because I'm a professional, they're able to get that crisp, clear sound. Like you can hear the guitar solos very well. Like, yep, I mean, you can hear everything he's doing. Luke was just shredding, and he's a tall dude too, man. Like, it's like just on stage, he's got this huge presence, and I'm like. But I got a couple more videos.
All right,
and we're gonna check them out.
I think there's still fog left over from Skeletal.
Oh yeah, these are some of that Evil Dead.
Oh, that's right. I'm so happy about that.
Shut it off.
Their music sounds like,
Yeah.
slowed down a little bit. It feels like it.
Well, they've always had this mixture of like death metal versus death doomy at times, drawn out a little bit and they get fast.
Yeah, they're neat. And there's not all the different they come from. I funny again, I don't think it. Now I'm still a fan. That's the best part about concerts.
So there's that one.
I mean, isn't that your favorite part when we go to these like festivals and stuff and we discover, oh man, I really like this band, or I forgot about this band, or I've heard of this band, but I really they just took it up a notch, you know?
Mm-hmm. So here's the second clip. See Luke on the right there, my right.
Ready.
I mean, he's literally taller than everybody else.
He's just calling the speaker, look.
Yeah. And there you have it. Some Incantation.
Great.
And I forgot to find out where they're from. I don't know. It's the United States, but I don't remember what city. So maybe.
Oh man, I don't have my phone either. It's charging.
It's all right.
We'll have to ask. You guys are gonna have to.
Yeah, just give us the answer. You probably all know this by now, you big time metalhead fans.
Tell us where Incantation hails from.
Now, Suffocation, I do know they're from upstate New York. Been out there. They made their name for themselves way back in '91 with Effigy of the Forgotten, which I thought they played Breeding the Spawn last night. That was so great. And of course, they have a new record out now, which is pretty strong. It's a good record. The vocalist, Ricky Myers, has only been with the band since 2019 as the former singer who had been there for a long time, Frank Mullen had stepped away. I don't remember the reasons why. Frank was with Suffo at one of the MDFs that we saw them at. But he pretty much stepped away in 2018, and now Ricky is doing it. Ricky has a great voice, and he sounds awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got a good stage presence, and sounds wonderful. Like, it's just still good. You have longtime guys like Terrence Hobbs, who's been there since the beginning. We also have guitarist Charlie Arago, and then Derek Boyer, who is the bassist. And this is one of the things that I've always loved about this particular guy in this band is his bass. He has it designed in a way that when he sets it on the ground, you can play it as a stand-up, and he's like headbanging at the same time. But surprisingly, he is not the original bassist. He only joined the band in 2004, but he has like a great vibe with the band.
That's his thing though.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's rounded out by Eric Moratti on drums. So, yeah, Suffocation, dude, they're always bringing it. They're always great. We got a couple clips here we're going to show you, and then we'll close this baby out.
Close this baby out.
Here's some Suffo. Yeah, so that was the first clip, and now we'll get to the second one here. I kept trying to get to a point where I could see Derek playing his bass the way that I wanted to describe it, but I don't know if I got it in there. I know NECA was trying to get it, so unfortunately, Derek was placed on the stage where, like,
we were on the other side.
yeah, so we were kind of like where the other guitarist is, but like either Ricky or the other guitarist, Charlie, either one of them were kind of like in the way, so it was always hard to kind of see Derek was doing his stand-up thing. But there was a point where she stepped aside to go to the restroom, and I noticed that, I guess when they were setting up, they were putting water bottles for the band, and they put one a little too close to where his pedals are for Derek, and his is back towards his amp. And I guess he either kicked over one of the bottles by accident or whatever, but like there was a point he kind of lost sound, and he was like visibly upset. He was still trying to figure out why he's not getting the sound. I think they did get it resolved eventually, but like he was just not very pleased. But you know, it's one of those things as a musician you kind of have to deal with. I know, but he was trying to get the sound guy. He's like, and doing his mouthing like.
Oh,
whatever.
I missed all that.
Yeah, so he was just like really upset. He couldn't figure out what was going on. He was checking cables and his little knobs and everything, and he was quite upset. I think his biggest problem was they put the water too close to where the pedals were, and usually she'd keep them up on the amp or something so they can just kind of reach up and get it, or where the drummers that usually have like lifts, but in this case they put it down by his pedals and it didn't work out very well. So sorry, Derek, hopefully it didn't damage any of your product there. But here's the second clip, Suffocation from last night. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking about how Derek does that whole thing where he kind of drops to his knees and he's playing the stand-up. I'm like, man, how long is he going to do that now? He's in great shape. He's pretty thin and all that jazz. I don't even know how old he is, but, you figure he joined the band, in 2004, so he was young when he joined the band. So, like, but, me at 53, if I'm trying to do that, dude, I'm like, I can't get back up,
Do you want to know how I got out of the bathtub today?
Is it the slide?
Oh my god. I'm fucking old.
Anyhow, really great night. A lot of great bands. Great lineup.
I had so much fun. He had fun. They even gave me an extra shot of
the bartender. Happy birthday shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put a little extra in my vodka soda. I was telling him, I was drinking a Truly and it was like mixed berry and it was way too sweet.
Yeah, what?
What?
I think he actually gave me a shot for it, but I think I forgot at the bar.
I thought you said he put an extra shot in my drink.
Well, I'm pretty sure he did. For some reason I thought he did give me a shot, but maybe not. Okay. Maybe it was just a shot. He did say he put something extra in your drink and it seemed to work, so.
But I switched to the vodka sodas because like they're nice and refreshing, and I
had 2 Coronas that just did almost nothing.
But he's like I woke up with a headache, and I was like, that's the beauty about vodka sodas. There's water in the vodka, so
We
like
drank the bleach. Anyway, thank you all for checking this out. Got any comments if you've seen this tour? If you are getting ready to see them, let us know your thoughts.
if you've ever seen them, any of the bands, and if you have, just leave us comments, leave us messages. We like messages.
We do. We love talking. Thanks, y'all. Hit the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and we will see you here next time on the Metal Time Radio podcast.